Hi guys, I'm Shania, dietitian and nutritionist. Today's video is going to discuss more on cooking methods. What is the best way to cook food and why? Remember that a longer exposure to heat and water leads to a greater loss in nutrients. Water-soluble vitamins like B complex vitamins and vitamin C dissolve in water. As these vitamins cannot be stored in the body, they must be given to the body regularly through the diet. So where possible, choose cooking techniques that does not leach away these vitamins. Let us start out by looking at the cooking method of steaming. Steaming your food is one of the best ways to cook, as firstly, there is no fat required in the cooking process. All you really need is water. Secondly, this method actually retains the vitamins within the food as well as the flavor of the food. Some food that can easily be steamed are seafood, chicken, as well as your vegetables. If you're looking at enhancing the flavor, it can be done by adding some spices, herbs, and lemon juice. In contrast to steaming will be boiling. Boiling is a less preferable cooking method as water-soluble vitamins are lost while the food is immersed in water. If you have to use this method of cooking, the best way to reduce the nutrients being lost is to fast boil the vegetables. This can be done by adding the vegetables really quickly into water that is already boiling and cook with the lid on so the cooking time is reduced and the amount of nutrients being lost are limited. Another good strategy is to use the water that has been used to boil the vegetables to either make rice or stock to maximize the nutrient intake. Another tip would be to choose cooking techniques that use as little oil or fats as possible. A non-stick pan can be very useful in limiting the amount of fat being used. For this reason, stir frying is an excellent cooking technique. It uses less oil and it is quick, so there are less nutrients being lost. Also, the liquid that is used to prepare the food in stir frying, like your stock or wine or sauce, are usually consumed in the meal rather than being drained out, so the nutrients can be absorbed and are not lost in the cooking process. A tip would be to use a non-stick pan and use a spray oil to limit the fat being used. Let's look at poaching. Poaching involves gently simmering the food in liquid. This liquid can be anything from water to stock or wine. The advantage to poaching is that it does not use oil, while the disadvantage is that nutrients can still be lost in the cooking process. Next up, we have frying. Shallow frying, pan frying, or deep frying. None of these methods are the healthiest ways to cook. They all involve the use of oil, whether the food is partially submerged or fully submerged in oil. What happens with frying is that the fat content significantly increases. So if you're looking for that crunch, get an air fryer instead. An air fryer circulates hot air around the food to produce a crunch or a crispy texture. The downside to an air fryer, just like baking, is that it can take a longer time to prepare the food. Let us also quickly touch on barbecuing. When we look at barbecuing, there are two components to it. Firstly, we must ensure that the food does not get too charred or burnt. This can happen over charcoal, as the char or the blackened area of barbecued foods contains some chemicals that can be carcinogenic and potentially dangerous to health. Secondly, be mindful of how much oil or fat is being used when barbecuing on a hot plate, as this will contribute to the calories that is being consumed. So that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed or benefited from the video, please help to like, subscribe, and share. Bye for now.